Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Many men simply don't understand a woman's nature. I mean, some think they do, but I'm going to tell you what, and this is connected with what I'm saying about Game Goofy. In order to understand, you try and get with women, let's understand you understand the nature of the women. You know, you got to understand, you can't just go out here, you got to understand their nature. Now, I see a lot of videos and people trying to say this and that about a woman, but that's only a small percentage. Like, one of the biggest things you got to understand about women is it depends on the situation, and they could treat two different men two different ways. One man, just by their nature, one man, they could be like, get out of my face, use him and shit. The other man, shoot, they making a sandwich for. I would say Sam Mitch, but my youngest son, he's a stickler for correct pronunciations. Oh, man. Yeah, but seriously, you be thinking, like, women are changing. And shoot, women, if you're in a relationship with a woman, they can change by the month. Now, what's my qualifications? Because I know some people will say, well, you know. Well, first of all, I've dealt with more women than whatever age of every critic and some. Put your age out, I've been with more women. Two, been rejected by twice that many. You know, on the relationship side. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you where I best learned the nature of women. Where I best learned it. Doing sales. Like, when I was selling my books and stuff, I did a lot of vending. 80% of my customers were women. I had to switch it up. And then other sales jobs I had, particularly at gyms, shoot, I saw a woman come in, I already knew right away that, shoot, I'm already counting my commission. And why is that? Because you gotta just understand how you deal with women, period. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, some people, some smart ass will try to come up and say, well, they were back, that's how they were back in your day. I still deal with them that way. And it's not even about sex. See, one of the keys is how do you deal with women when you ain't trying to get any pussy from them? Because it could be for money. Like when I was doing all those vending sales and everything and working as a salesman, shoot, I ain't thinking about getting with the women. But I knew their nature enough so I could get their money. Shoot. Yeah, and that's one of the things, just knowing how to deal with them, keep them calm. Even at this retail place I last worked, there was one woman in there. Like, even the managers didn't know how to deal with her. So whenever they needed to communicate something to her, they come to me. I go to her. They do it because I knew how to handle her. I could tell her to go to hell in such a way she looked forward to the trip. Because that's one thing, just dealing with a bunch of women. And I've been dealing with them since I was been little, man. Remember, I started this thing back in the 70s when I was little. And then, still would add to it. But once you understand a woman's nature, you never have a problem with it. But see, a lot of guys don't. You talk to some guys, and it was like, well, how many women have you dealt with? Well, none. They don't understand. Seriously, you got whole communities of men outside their mom, and even in some cases, unfortunately, that might not be good. But outside of that, they haven't really dealt with any women. In fact, I've had some women ask me, they say, because they know about like online and how guys be complaining. It's like that. They had some women to tell them. Seriously, women I'm close to, they be asking. They be like, wow, how these guys don't understand. They just don't. Like, like I said, I probably learned the most just doing sales. Shoot. Yeah, one thing getting your dick sucked, trying to get a woman to go have sex with. Another thing is, shit, you need her to pay some bills. So it was like, and remember, most of the part, I'm selling books that were for men. So how am I selling that? Because I knew how to talk to the women. And then, really, I could break it down even further. Because anybody who really has went through the series on Ron TV, I got a few on reading women as far as even body types, like archetypes, every little thing, class, everything. Because then once you read the woman, because any real player knows how to read the women. So then they know, okay. Like some women, if I were to approach them, I had to go hard. Like when you're dealing with like, well, we use the octane model that Master Teacher PGS like promotes. We use the octane model. You're talking 85s and 87s. Well, 85s, you shouldn't. Those are ratchet. First of all, you need to be able to recognize when a woman is just ratchet. You shouldn't even want that. I don't care what her body look like. But they're very basic though. But then you get the 87s, those are working class. The biggest thing you need for them is to be a stable dude. Those are the type who will be wifey and shit. But you need to recognize that when you're talking to one. You know? Then you might have to switch. You got to switch it up a bit for the 89s. They kind of weird. Plus, they got some bohemian in there. You probably have to it has something metaphysical about you. With some of them. Rest don't know. So it's like they can be stable, or it depends. Like they the toughest to deal with, but they usually have something. Like 92s, those professional women, you got to pretty much lead with whatever your profession is, or make it sound better. You trying to holler. She tell you she an attorney or corporate executive. If you still trying to holler, well, first of all, they want to know everything, probably where you went to school, all that shit. The average guy can't really fuck with them unless they 92s themselves. So I'm just gonna be real with you. And hundreds, those women who be dealing with the high end ballers. Those are groupies. You know, probably some whole bunch of them probably flew out to the Olympics. So yeah, there's so many things, and then how they look, everything. But you gotta understand that, because I'm gonna tell you what, a smart player, he already know what his target is. He already know what his tribe is. He already know which one gonna respond to him. That's why I talk about tribe. And that's why I say any man who has sex with at least one woman, well, really three. If he's had sex with 3 women, he penetrated 3 women, he already know. And then if he really pay attention to women and stuff. Because I've had a lot of women even tell me, they say, it look like I got eyes that's looking right through them. I am. Because you got to look at everything. You got to look. One of the things you learn is once you read their hairstyles, body build, body language, how they wearing their clothes. It's a lot to it. You know, and then you know what you already know. It's like, oh, okay. Like I remember there was a woman. Well, I ain't gonna say what profession she was in. I just say, matter. I went hard. I let her know I'm trying to get up in there, and she knew it too. But I knew from her class what she was doing for a living and everything. But then another woman, you gotta show her your more intellectual side. You know, so some women car Rom can get with, but other women, I gotta be Professor Rom. You know, some women I gotta be Guru Rom. See, one of the things, if you out there, you're gonna learn. One of the biggest things is you gotta adapt, or you gotta show them something, or you gotta come at them a certain way. That's why a lot of guys don't even try. They don't even really interact with women. Because even that thing, you get some guys thinking, well, for women, you gotta be a Chad or Tyrone just to get them, and that don't hurt. But then some women, and not for insecurity either. Some women, they want to be the more attractive ones, as long as your ass is presentable enough. Because women in general like attention. So if they walking with you, they want to be the one that gets the attention. They want to be all eyes on them. Most of them, I say most, don't want to be. Hey, they gotta look better. And the ones who do, the exceptions who do want a guy who look better, they already know they ugly or whatever. That's why you get some ugly women, they'll go for that fine guy. But see, what it is, they know if they get them, they pull them on something, that says something about them. So they do it for their own validation. Even that's for their own validation. It's not that they just want that handsome man. If that woman is like, say you like the guy, like, say the guy's a 9, right? if that woman's a 4, she'll still go for it just to, and it's not even about like, oh, he's so handsome. It's about that's what she could pull. Because you get a lot of 4s like that. They want those top guys. They want to feel like it makes them feel better. They don't got shit to do with the guy. Because one thing you understand with a woman's nature, ultimately, I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care how cool they seem. Ultimately, when they with a man, it's for selfish reasons. Whatever the case. Even the good ones. Even the good ones. It's about being selfish. It ain't about who he is or how fine he is or something. You know, they feel good because they compete with each other to pull them. So even in that case where you might have a woman as a 4 get a 9, oh, she did something. She did what she had to do to get that dude. But it's not, and you know, she know, because women, I'm gonna tell you something about women's nature too. They be competing with each other. That's why some players can get, like, if a woman can be a player tamer or something, and she'll let her girlfriends know about that shit. Shit. And that's regardless of race, culture, class, whatever. They all got something selfish. Even if their selfishness is saying they want to be on a man's team, that's still selfish. That's still selfish, but see, you understand that just from doing sales and everything, just from being with a bunch. Because even if you're selling them something, they got to get something out of it. Like my books, it's gotten back to me that a lot of women thought it was more for them. They actually thought my books were more for them. Because they getting something out of it. They learning something. In fact, I've had quite a few women comment that they watch this channel because they learning stuff from a man's perspective. Heck, even had one woman, she said this is a woman's channel. I was like, that's because she was getting something out of it. So you understand something. A woman's got to feel like she getting something. You know, that's why a lot of guys mess up. They handing them the dick. It's like, no, make them work. Make them feel like they're getting something. You know, or sometimes it might be, they need to be, unless you got some way you fucking the shit out of her in private. Publicly, they want to walk around with somebody that they thinking about. It ain't even about the guy. He can have whatever. How they look with a guy. But that's part of a woman's nature, though. See, I always understand that regardless of the woman, they are whatever they do, it got something to do with them. That's just how it is. Just, or best you can get is like, or hope for, is a woman who is something in her that she wants to be on your team. She wants to be traditional or some shit. Like, that's one of the things with a woman's nature. Don't try to force it. See, the thing a player does, pimps do, gigolos do, men who usually get women, they don't try to force their nature. They just use it. They just use it. They don't try to force anything. See, it's usually non-select dudes who trying to force the woman into some shit. You can't force a woman. But what you can do is learn how to read it. Now, somebody would say, well, how do I learn how to read it? Well, like I said, you got to join Rom TV. The link is in the description box. And go through I got different series talking about that. But even then, that means you got to have something too. So you got to have something to give. Because like the subtitle of my best-selling book, Nice Guys in Place, the subtitle is Becoming the Man Women Want. And contrary what some people believe, they don't want to simp. They actually like a little bit of a challenge because it means if they can win that man over, boom. Now I'm giving y'all a powerful secret. That woman got to win you. So you can't just hand it to her. She got to do something. And she got to feel like she did something. If you handing it to her too easy and shit, she like whatever. That's why they resist a lot of nice guys. Nice guys be doing all this shit. They ain't doing anything. Now, if that same nice guy say, fuck her, and don't want to deal with her, and he's sincere, all of a sudden, she thinking about his ass. It's twisted, but like I said, it's just their nature. Don't get mad. Just figure out how to use it. But the only way you're going to get there is understand they got that nature. Understand with their nature, yeah, they can treat one man like shit, but they can treat that other man. Okay, that was a po-po. they can treat that other man like he's a god, literally. You just want to be the man that she wants to treat right. Shoot, even when a woman's treating a man right, that's in her nature. She gotta want it. She getting something from it. When a woman's giving to a man freely, she feels good about it. Like, you can't, like I said, don't try to think you forcing a woman into anything. Don't even try to. Don't even think that way. Like, whether it was like me getting sex or me getting a sale, I had to like just tune to her nature and tune it the way I want it. See, like if you take a pimp, all a pimp does is turn the game against them. I talked about that yesterday. You got a lot of women running game. You gotta respect this shit. And see, okay, like if a woman wants something or she was dressing a certain way. I remember when I was married to some ex-wife wanted something. She was dressed up a certain way. I was like, you don't do all that. What you need? You know? Or when they hunting. I love when women are hunting. Like they, this is a old game. I remember I was working at this one office in one of my 1,000 jobs. Had this one young girl, she came in with this red dress on and everything. Guys were trying to holler at her. We had an old school player in there. He said, nah, y'all trying to holler at her. She ain't trying to get y'all attention. There was a guy in there whose attention she was trying to get. She was trying to go for it. She was trying to get with this motherfucker. She wore a red dress for him. If I see a woman dress up, I'll be on jobs, I see a woman dress up. Shoot, I benefited from that. She trying to catch somebody. See, that's how women hunt too. You gotta understand that. They be hunting. But see, they more or less want to draw your attention. Their game is to draw your attention. Their game is to draw you to them. Because even when you think you might, like, say you get some guys talking about, well, I'm going to approach that woman. I approach this woman. Man, that woman been done saw your ass. I said this 1,000 times. They saw you, shoot. Shout out Cousin Tito. He talked about this in his book, Seduction Scriptures. You know? I'll put that link in the description box. I give credit where it's, I always give credit where it's due. He talks about that. Shit, that woman saw you from 5 blocks back. Or she been clocking you for a few days, a few weeks, even a few months. She knew where you gonna be. She put herself in position. Be wearing that sexy dress and shit. Got that perfume on. And I don't know who said this, but it's a appropriate saying. A man chases a woman until she catches him. Oh yeah, they got their game, but that's part of their nature. Our nature is to go out and get. Their nature is to draw the dude in. Their nature is magnetic. Ours is electric. All you had to do is be a man who can turn her on. And I talk about that, shit. Because because a woman check a man out, she don't get that tingle. She gonna be like closed up. She get that tingle, feel good. She gonna be like, oh yeah, hey dude, hey, what's up? Shit. But see, a lot of guys and people say, well, how can I know a woman's nature? Only way you can, really, man. You gotta get out there, man. Told y'all three women a day at least. Say hi to 3 women. Interact with them more. Because really, you have to do it. Y'all can listen to me all day, but you got to do it. You got to go out there. I don't care who you listen to. You got to go out there because you got to see. Because ultimately, you got to see how women respond to you. Because a woman might respond to me a certain way. The exact same woman ain't going to do the same for you. But it's the same thing. A woman might. Hey, what's up, y'all? Had to continue. Had a sudden cut off. Phone, if it gets too hot, it'll shut off. It'll shut off the filming and everything. Anyway, as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, you know, you get some, just because a woman goes for me, doesn't mean she gonna go for you. And vice versa. Just because a woman you might can get some women that I can't get. And all it is, really, that's why it's important for every man. He got to go out there. Like, if you want to learn how to read women, first you got to interact with women. You got to read how they're interacting with you. And if they're not interacting in a favorable way, ultimately you got to figure out what's in you. You got to figure out your game. Now I can give you my general philosophy, but it's just like if I'm teaching somebody how to play basketball, right? I can give them basics. You can get basics and stuff, but you still got to learn how to use it. Like you get some people, their game, everybody's going to have a game. Some men, their game is going straight to the hoop and playing basketball. Some men are used to putting back offensive rebounds. Some men, they got that three-pointer. Some men got that drive or, pop. Everybody got a different game. You got to figure out what your game is. Because I can tell you about women all day, and I can give my perspective, but at the end of the day, you got to figure out how each woman is going to deal with you. Because that's one thing with women, because depending on your personality, see, that's something deeper. It depends on your personality, how that woman going to interact with you. But see, that's part of your tribe too. You got to figure out, okay, which women interact with me in a certain way. You can't worry about what they do with somebody else. That's why, like, if somebody else complain, I'll be like, well, whatever. They can complain all day. I've had situations where a woman would treat guys like shit, but then be real nice to me. And that's people, period. I've known some people, they could be mean to everybody, but there's always one person they nice to. Oh, okay. Thanks, man. I don't know what all that shit, but okay. Seriously. So, but you got to get out there. Because that's the only way you really going to learn. You got some dudes, they want to watch commercials or you watch these videos all day. I'm like, nah, that ain't going to work for you. So, I mean, like I said, just start interacting and everything. You got to interact with different women to learn where you stand, but learn how. And you got to figure out what works for you, what don't. What doesn't want to work for you. Oh, man, let me back it up. But, yeah. So, many men don't want to learn the nature, but that's something you got to learn. Right? And it takes a while. But, it's still worth it, though. You got to figure it out. Yeah, I was doing a read on this young lady now walking across from me. Yeah, dude got to be a little crazy to fuck with her, though. You got to have a slight crazy. She ain't going to fuck with, like, a dude totally with their shit together. Yeah. But you got to learn that shit. And don't like I said, I give some examples. I give some perspective on Rom TV on different series. Just check out the whole thing. I give perspectives on everything. Because really, if you want what you want out of a woman, it's still best if you fix yourself up. Then you get better options. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. Let me get on out of here. Peace and blessings, y'all.